Hello and welcome to Blades of Thunder. And in this episode we're going to be talking about the build of this beast, the Roban Superscale AH-64 Apache. Okay, if you remember from the last video we did the unboxing. Now we've got her together and we're going to talk about how the build went and show you some of the footage of myself building the model, which took probably about 20 hours in total, not including glue drying time. Well, the build went really well. I'm very pleased with how well the build went together. The instructions were very good indeed, apart from a few minor points with the mechanics that I had to work out for myself, but it was all went together all really well. The model itself, as you can see, it's quite highly detailed. We've put it together as an out-the-box model with our own motor and speed controllers and stuff, which you have to supply yourself anyway. And it's a really nice standoff scale model. Now you could really work on this and make it a higher end finish and a more detailed scale, but for the time being she will do just nicely as she is. The decals, while they went, I didn't put them all on because I didn't like a couple of them, and I didn't really think a flying tiger on the side of an Apache looks as good as it does on the side of a Tomahawk. But the decals went on really well, but you're going on to a matte surface. Now, decals don't like sticking onto matte surfaces, so things like that happen afterwards. Now I even used a special compound that I get from tailor-made decals and to help stick these decals to it, but it hasn't worked particularly well. And the reason for that is matte finishes are not great for decals. Even vinyl will peel off a matte surface, so I would recommend that if you're going to put the decals on and you're not too bothered about the finish and you just want a standoff scale, then just put them on. But however, if you want a higher end finish to this model, I would recommend that you spray the area where you're putting the decal on with a bit of gloss lacquer. Put your decal on, leave it a week to fully cure, and then using a little tiny airbrush, reapply the matte finish. And you'll find the decal will stick on even better. You do tend to find you get things like here underneath, you get a bit of silvering on a matte surface, but we will live with that because we do have greater plans for this model further on down the line. Yeah, so it went together really well, really pleased with it, really pleased with it. Most of the bits we've tacked on rather than fully glued on because things like this are quite fragile. So if you knock it, it will break off rather than break. So I'd recommend that you do that too. What else have we got? Yeah, down here we have two pilots, and we've had these ones custom made from a company in the UK called Real Model Pilots, and they make and 3D print model pilots. You can buy an Apache crew off the shelf. We didn't. We asked them if they would do us a custom made crew for this Apache, and they're ladies, so it's an all-female crew for this Apache, and ladies in the UK and in America are flying and fighting the Apache, so why not honour them as well as the men? For the time being, we'll keep this model as an A model. We won't make any modifications to it until further down the line. You know, it's got a standard cross tail rotor. We'll look at later on modifying that to a cascade tail. But apart from that, it went really well. I love the way the cockpit lights up. It's my favourite feature. All the displays in the cockpit are really well lit up. What else can we say about it? Ah, yes, we do need to talk about. Okay, now remember I said some of the parts were quite tricky and took us a long time. Now the horizontal stabiliser is hinged, so it can move up and down. Now for demonstration purposes and flying purposes of this as an out-of-the-box model, we have done it out of the box. Okay, but one of the first things we'll probably do is make a new hinge for the horizontal stabiliser. While it is nice and free to move, it's got a lot of play side to side, and that's purely and simply because of the plastic hinges that Roban supply with it. Okay, so we are going to look at modifying that so it's stronger. Okay, but for the test flights, we're going to see how it goes, and we'll keep a very, very close eye on that, because if it looks like it's about to fail, we'll land rather than let it fail. So one of us will be keeping a very close eye on this as it's flying on. But because it's nice and free to move, now with the full size Apache, the horizontal stabiliser can pivot up and down like that. Now as we fly forward, as the airflow moves over this, it should lift up as we fly forward, and then as we slow down, it should naturally come back down. So hopefully, without adding any weighty mechanics and electronic gear, we'll have the stabiliser will control. Now if you watch an Apache when it's flying, straight and level the stabilisers like that, and as it slows down and decelerates into the hover, the stabiliser gradually lowers down. And that, I believe, is to just help keep the tail lifted up, because it's quite a little bit tail heavy on the full size. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, the other thing we haven't done, while they're fitted at the minute, these are just pushed on, they're not glued on yet, because we'll test fly it without the weapons on while we're doing the trimming. And the undercarriage is fully sprung. Sounds like it needs a bit of a spray with WD-40 at the minute. And it bottoms out. Okay. One of the things that's not in the instructions is how to get the canopy off. Is how to fit the batteries in. So what we've done is we've added a wooden platform over the top of the gun mount so that we can fit the batteries in, and then they're just velcroed in, so you can put them in. And we're using two align 6,000 packs, which should give us at least a minimum of 5 minutes flight time. We've weighed the model without rotor blades, and it came out at 8.5 kilograms. So probably with the rotor blades on, it's probably closer to 9 now. But that's with the 6,000 packs. The manual recommends 5,000 packs, but we haven't got any, so we use 6 rather than buy new. The mechanics are very nice, and if you follow the manual, it's just a few bits in there that are a bit vague, but you should be able to work that out quite easily. You attach the tail boom to the main mechanics with the angled gearbox, okay, but you take the raised section off, and it really does literally just slide in and down to here, and then you come in from the side here with the vertical section, and it all pops together really nicely. So it wasn't a chore, it was really easy to do. And as you can see, you get some lights with it, and it lights up as well. So it's all done, ready and it's been set up. It's ready for its maiden flight when we get a chance. So we'll keep you posted on how that goes.